Hi, so welcome YouTube to my World of Warcraft Ozaat account, or one zone at a time. This is just going to be a quick YouTube video explaining what this account is, what the restrictions are, and just going through the general rules. I like to hold myself through this account, and I'll just kind of explain more as I go through the rules. Alright, so those familiar or have played RuneScape, or old school RuneScape specifically, have 100% heard or seen the challenge one chunk at a time, or chunk locked, where these RuneScape players will basically lock themselves within a chunk and will complete everything they can within that before moving on to the next. I really do enjoy those challenges. I'm a big watcher of RuneScape videos, and I kind of wanted to bring that passion into World of Warcraft. Um, Shout out to Zone Locked. He's a YouTuber account. He actually was the first one to kind of bring this over from RuneScape. I'll put his channel into the description below. Watch his videos. I watched every single one of his videos. I'm a big fan of him. Um, but I decided to kind of just put my own spin, put my own try on this into one zone at a time, or Zone Locked. So now for the rules. First of all, as you can see, I'm going to start with a completely fresh account. I've been playing WoW for like 10 years at this point, which is not a lot compared to some people, but it's a lot. And I've done a lot of content. I've obtained a lot of items, amounts, etc. But to make this challenge basically authentic, I'm just going to start completely fresh. Just delete 10 years of progress and see what I can do with just a fresh new account. And as you know, the name kind of entails, I'm going to be working through this one zone at a time. That means I can only do content that the one zone allows me to, and I cannot leave it before finishing it. So that goes into rule number 3, is that I must finish the current zone I am before moving into the next. Um, and number 4, just to kind of add from the RuneScape, take a little bit from them. Each next zone will be rolled. I'm going to put a bunch of zones that into a random roller and just kind of roll through them and see what I'll get. Number 5, these next few rules are trying to make me sane, try to make me actually, have content for this account, because a lot of things in WoW are time locked or just so insanely rare that I'm just gonna be farming them for the rest of the year and never be uploading any videos to this account. Um, well, the first one is gonna be rule number 5, which is world drops do not matter, including dungeons. Dungeons is very important, as there's many like 0.1% like drop chances in dungeons, such as like Shadowfang Keep, that I'll just be running 1,000 times over before I can even get that drop I want. So I'm just gonna say all world drops, even in dungeons, don't matter. The next rule to keep content flowing is rule number 6, which is all expansion patch content counts as one and can't be rolled until the main pack is done. So a huge example of this, as I put, is the Pandaria Islands. So Isle of Giants, Isle of Thunder, and I forgot the last island name. Um, so basically, once I roll all of mainland Pandaria, those islands are put on the roller, and I can roll any of those islands. And say if I roll Isle of Thunder, that means all the islands are unlocked. This is going to be for Legion for any expansion with major patches, just because these patch contents, some of them have a lot of content, some of them have very little content, but include time gated content, such as the Isle of Giants. If I was not farming for that amount on the Isle of Giants, I'd be done with it within a day. But since I have to be constantly stuck in the Isle of Giants, I'd rather have all the islands um, in Pandaria helping me farm, giving me more content to do, but also keeping me locked to specific areas. Rule number 7 is a huge one I was thinking about, is the garrison. If I rolled Frostfire Rage early on, I'd just be stuck in the garrison doing content for that for ages. Um, so I decided that the garrison does not have to be complete until all what's it called, Warlords of Draenor zones are unlocked, which makes sense because a lot of the garrison content has to do with the zones in Warlords of Draenor. So I'll do that once I have all the available zones to complete the content in the garrison. Number 8 is kind of very niche but specific, is that I do not have to complete time gated content unless all unique sources are unlocked. Um, like I said, for the Pandaria world bosses, the gear. I do not have to farm the gear from the Pandaria world bosses unless I have all of them unlocked. But this does not apply to the mount, as you can't get the mount from unique mounts from all of them. The unique mounts are specifically for each one. So say I get the shot mount super fast, I don't have to farm that gear until I have Isle of the Giants, Isle of Thunder unlocked, and then I'm gonna have to, what's it called, farm that gear just to make farming that gear go faster. It's just because if I had to wait a week just to maybe get a plate chest, like I'm just gonna be stuck on that boss for ages. Rather than when I can farm four of them, it's gonna go a lot faster. Rule number 9 is what's it called? A rule I really did enjoy that Zone Locked included. Like I said, link in the description. He's a huge inspiration of why I did this. Um, but is that I can include alts, but one for each position. So I'm not going to have 20 alts. Um, I'm just going to have, say, one for engineering, one for leatherworking, one for tailoring, one for alchemy, one for blacksmithing, basically one for each. So I can include all, so I can obtain all the items from that specific profession. But also having alts does make time gated a lot easier. But I do not want to go overboard on them. Um, and also specific, I forgot to mention this. It's gonna be one class, and I've already decided to pick that as warrior, just because warrior has the most appearances, at least weapons wise. So I think it would just be the most fun collecting all the weapons and all the armors for a warrior. Some things I'm considering doing, but haven't, what's it called, decided yet. Honestly, comment down below if you don't disagree with any of these or think I should change these rules, or just any ideas, as this is just a fresh account. I have not decided, mostly anything on it. But one thing I'm considering doing is moving on to another zone if I'm held back by one time gated content. Say, what's it called? I'm stuck by one raid. I can only do it once a week, but I'm doing it on all my alts. But I want to move on. So I can move on, but I still have to finish that raid. So when I finish that raid, I can just focus on my other zone. But say I finish that other zone before I finish my raid in the previous zone, I can move on to another zone. I can only basically kind of be in two zones at a time. But this kind of fidgety, but only by one time gated content. Say I have multiple time gated contents in one zone, I have to finish all of them. But if I'm just really really stuck on a mount, say I'm really super dry on a mount, I don't want to be stuck in that zone for half a year. I'd rather be able to move on and go to other zones I can complete quicker, or complete in a half the time I'll be spending trying to farm that one mount. But that does not mean I'm going to be giving up on that mount. I will still have to get that mount. And another thing I'm really considering is doing Classic to Warlords of Draenor before Legion to Dragonflight. And if you are a pet battler, you would know the pain about this. Legion through Dragonflight has so many pet battling achievements that are just not achievable with the pets that I'll probably be having during the time. Um, if I unlock them early. So maybe I'm gonna see if I can unlock, or if I have to unlock Classic through Warlords of Draenor before I can start unlocking Legion through Dragonflight. I think I'll mess around with that. For now, I'm gonna start just working through Classic or through Warlords of Draenor and see where that goes. Other than that, these are just the rules at the very beginning of the account. I think I might have an updated rules if they do change. But we'll see where it goes. I just want to have fun, basically create content, just enjoy the game that I do enjoy, have been enjoying playing for the last 10 years. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Sorry for the kind of boring video that started off. Of course, you just have to go through the specifics before getting into this account. But as stated, I'm going to create this warrior. I'm going to try to upload the first episode at the exact same time I upload the rules. So hopefully you guys, transfer over or go. If you're coming from the first video, thank you for watching that one. But if anything, I do appreciate anyone that's watching. Please give me advice. This is my first time ever, creating any kind of content, whether it's on YouTube or Twitch. This is my first time even recording. I just downloaded a bunch of stuff. So let me know if I'm too quiet. Let me know if there's anything you want me to change. Just any feedback is kind of crucial at this stage of this video creating. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope you do enjoy the challenge.